Hey guys, how's it going? It's Blade again from Focal Auditor Security, and today we're looking at the Focal ACX range. So the ACX range is a beginner or entry-level series by Focal, so a very, very good, well-known brand for high-quality equipment, but at an affordable price. Now we have their full range in front of me here, but we'll go through in depth with the 6.5-inch speakers. Now there's two of them. I'll show you what they are in a second, but essentially you have a 4-inch speaker, 5.25-inch speaker, 6.5-inch, a second 6.5-inch, a 5x7, and a 6x9. We're going to focus on the 6.5-inch today because that's the most popular speaker size, but I will show you the specs and quickly overview the other sizes, but we'll go in depth with the 6.5 now. We have the two 6.5-inch speakers in front of me here. We have the ACX 165 and the ACX 165S. Now straight away you'll be able to see there is a difference between the two. The 165S is their shallower version, so it sits a lot shallower in the door card. So if your vehicle will only take a shallower size speaker, they've made the basket and the magnet slightly smaller. Now, somehow they've not managed to compromise on performance with this. I'll quickly go through the materials. So this is a polypropylene cone on both with a butyl surround, so that's the rubber surround on these. And the ACX range only do a coaxial, meaning they have built-in tweeters. So power range on these is pretty good. Now somehow they've managed to get the shallower speaker to have a higher RMS. I'm not sure how, but so these are 70 watts RMS and 140 watts peak. Now they've also managed to make the speaker more sensitive also, meaning that this speaker is running 93 decibels sensitivity. Also, mounting depth on this is 4.8 centimeters, very, very shallow speaker. And your frequency response in this speaker is from 60 to 21 kilohertz. So very, very good response on this. Now moving to the 165, the standard speaker. This is a 60 watt RMS speaker, 120 watt peak, 91.5 decibel sensitivity, and frequency response between 60 and 21 kilohertz. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick rundown of the other sizes, explain the specs of them for you as well. Let's move these to the side. So let's start off with the smallest one. This is their 4-inch speaker. So a 4-inch speaker is usually going to be found in an older vehicle. You don't tend to find them very often in newer cars, apart from new BMWs and Mercedes, but even then you have to have custom fit speakers for them, so these wouldn't work. So if you've got an older vehicle, stuff like Land Rover Defenders, old Mercedes, BMW, stuff like that, that's where a 4-inch is going to come in handy. So these are definitely a good option there. Polypropylene cone and a butyl surround with a tweeter in the center. Now, obviously the different sizes are going to range in power. So RMS power on the 4-inch is 30 watts RMS and maximum output is 60 watts. Sensitivity is 88 decibels and this will play from 80 hertz to 21 kilohertz. Now moving on to the 5.25-inch speaker. Exactly the same materials used again. You're going to find these in most Jap vehicles, so older Jap vehicles from the 90s and noughties. Some modern vehicles do take these as well, so it's quite a common fitment. Now, the specs on this unit is 50 watts RMS power, 100 watts peak, 90 decibel sensitivity, and 65 to 21 kilohertz. So the 5x7 is quite an uncommon size, to be honest. You'll only really find them in Fords, so Focus, transit vans, stuff like that. Older generation, I'm talking. That's it really. There's not many other vehicles that take a 5x7. If I'm mistaken, please correct me, but 5x7 is not that common. But again, same materials. These are 60 watts RMS, 120 watt peak, 91.6 decibel sensitivity, and will play from 60 to 21 kilohertz. And then moving on, lastly, we have the mighty 6x9. Now, I'm sure most people would have heard of a 6x9. These are very, very common, especially in old school times when you're going to be dropping them into a rear shelf. Some vehicles have these factory fitted, like Minis in the rear quarters. They're factory fitted 6x9s. But yeah, fantastic speaker. Everyone knows a 6x9, everyone loves it. Now, this is slightly different. Obviously, materials used are the same, but this is a 3-way speaker. So you have the mid, you have the tweeter, and then you have a super tweeter here. So that's going to make it nice and extra bright for you. The tweeter is going to be nice and crisp. So very, very good speaker here. And as you can see, quite a whopper of a magnet on the back. These are 80 watts RMS, 160 watts peak, 92 decibel sensitivity, and will play from 50 to 20 kilohertz. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the video on the Focal ACX range. Now, everyone knows the quality of a Focal speaker is very, very good, so these are definitely a good option to upgrade from your factory speakers at not a very high price point. We'll pop the prices down below and the link's going to be in the description. But that's it from me. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.